Much for staying tuned. Shout out to our sponsors as well, PSK Trust Condoms, Kuwa True. You see the message all over here in the front row. Kuwa True, that's the message. Of course, if you are tweeting us, use the hashtag 10over10. Time for us to have our real talk discussion here. I'm joined by three young people who are going to talk to us about the hustle. What does it take for your side hustle to become the main hustle? How can you turn your passions into real money? All these people here today have either previously been employed or are currently employed, but also have a passion project on the side that is making them money. So we're going to hear their story. I want to go around and have you guys introduce yourselves. You can tell me if you're employed or if you were employed, sort of your background and what it is that your side hustle is.
Okay, my name is Vivian Chavarangi. I'm currently employed, and I'm also doing.
Are you employed in?
It's called GDEN Marketing Technology. It's a sales company. Yeah. So, and I'm also doing a side hustle.
And what is your side hustle?
Currently, I'm doing a homemade soap.
Homemade soap.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll talk about it.
My name is Stan Ogari. I'm a lawyer by profession. I worked until a month ago in a law firm, and I'd started a side hustle, a courier service called Leap Logistics. And since then, that's what I've been doing after I left my job.
Do you see yourself going back to law?
Maybe, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough.
Hi guys, my name is Esther Wanjiru Mbogo, and I'm a sales executive. I'm employed in a company, and my side hustle is event planning. Yes. Okay.
So I want to talk to you, all of you, about how it is that you chose your side hustle, because sometimes we look at what everyone else is doing. If this person is selling clothes, even me, I want to sell clothes. They're selling shoes, I want to sell shoes. They're selling weave, I want to sell weave. But you guys have some sort of unique side hustle. So how did you start selling homemade soap?
I came across the homemade soap through my friend. She had the chemicals, because I make the soap from scratch. Yeah, so she had the chemicals. It was just for our own. Yeah. So and then I thought, why not start selling the soap? Yeah. So that's how I came across. That's how I decided to start doing the business.
And has it been successful so far?
Yeah, so far actually it has been fruitful. Because the very first time I started selling the soap, I had introduced it to my sister. I went to her workplace, then I met her colleagues, and then they were like, what's that? And then from that point they started making orders.
So sort of word of mouth.
Yeah, it was just a word of mouth. Yeah.
Now for you to leave law and focus on your courier service, why that decision?
Both are quite taxing industries, so it's really hard to put yourself in law and also manage starting business, especially when it's courier services where you have riders who need you need to know where they're at every point. You need to know so many things, and it reached a point that I couldn't balance the two, and this is something I had started and I wanted to grow myself. So I put myself in it, learned how to ride also, and started doing deliveries myself also. Also, yes.
Okay.
And so I put myself in the position of the riders also, and I get to know exactly what they go through, exactly what the customer experience is, and that makes me learn better. So even if I was ever to leave, I can set the structures I want to leave and know at every single level how the business operates, and move on to something.
And there's a difference there, isn't it? When it's your own project, that's why you can immerse yourself in it and get to really know about it. That there's a passion there.
Put yourself out there.
Yeah. Event planning. How did that come about for you? How did that come about for you, seeing as you're also employed?
Mine was very funny. I just found myself when you're planning any events for my friends and all that, I could find myself very interested about them, and I was just like, well guys, you can see it's so fun and all that. There's this idea, but I realized that there's come a point where I realized that it was only me who was seeing some of the things, and some of my friends were like, you know what, you chick, you need to do something about, you have something in you that it's quite different, and that's why you can see some of the things that we can see. So mine, that's how it started, and that's why I decided that why not make an extra coin with that. Yeah, and also found myself, even where I was working then, I was very interested and very happy and very excited with any events that were coming up, and I found myself wanting to be involved in each and every of those plans. Yeah.
Now, we've been raised up to believe that you go to school, you get your papers, you look for a job. Like, that's what you're supposed to do, right? But yet, there are so many other opportunities for young people to sort of start their own thing, and that's the stories that I'm hearing with all of you. So if the soap business picked to the point that, you know, you don't have to work anymore, would you focus on that?
Yeah, I would focus on that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that?
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Maybe you can just give you know, some encouragement to a young person who's been unsuccessful in finding a job as to why they should find a passion project or a side hustle and pursue that.
Guys, don't lose hope. And someone was telling me that we are living in a generation that is worse. But what I believe is that we are living in the best generation ever. You know, in the Kitambo Huko, it was about the big professions. But today, the world today it's appreciating it, and as long as you just go and just create that value in that talent that you have, create that value in that skill that you have. Make sure you just do what you do best, yeah? So sometimes we just find ourselves immersed in looking for a job, but even you find yourself looking for a job and you have a talent or a skill that can make you a coin, and you might be surprised, that will be your main hustle at the end of it all. So I would advise you, don't lose hope, just work on what you do best. Yeah.
Well, how would you encourage someone to begin their own enterprise?
Well, at first, even your own enterprise, aside from even looking for a job, it's something hard and it needs dedication. It needs you to immerse yourself, to know what you're doing and actually have an interest in it. If you have no interest in what you're doing, if your job is stressing you to a certain point, and you have a passion and maybe you think about money and other things, but just try to put yourself in what you are happy in, what you feel will give you something more aside from even the money, and I think you'll be successful even if they all fail and you try again and try again. And
right, because I was going to ask, one of the toughest things for someone maybe sitting here or here in the audience listening, and you know, we're telling them start your own thing, start your side hustle, like how do I start, where do I start? You know, the starting points, I think that's sort of the hardest thing. Once you get the hang of it, it's easier, but where do you start? Where do I get the money? You know, where do I get the networks if I don't have any? So to someone who has those types of questions, do you have answers to that? Okay, go ahead.
For me, I can say, initially I didn't have money because I'm also a student. So I went to this campus, it's called Centonomy. I did a personal financial course, and in Centonomy they teach you how to start a business and how to save. So for me, I learned about the value of money. You see, like we young adults, we would get money, then we will go and buy, like let's say I go buy a phone. So is that phone going to bring me more money, or is it just going to, I'm just going to do anything with it? Yeah. So I learned that you can save your lunch money, then you start your own business if you want. Yeah.
Starting points. Advice on starting points for anyone who's sort of struggling with this idea of should I start a side hustle?
She had talked about Centonomy. Centonomy has different levels to it. There's the levels for campus students, and so at that point they can understand your level of income, perhaps it's pocket money. And then there's a level for, it could also be campus students, or a higher level which is called personal finance, which could be for anyone. And I entered at the entrepreneurship level because I'm someone who had started at a level, saving in small amounts like that, and I started businesses, some which failed, some which succeeded. But I reached a point where what I had amassed is something I can use for this business, and now it's something I put my all into. And the entrepreneurship program really helps. It teaches you how to set structures, and like for me, I won't be riding my whole life. I want to learn what's needed to leave someone else to be able to manage the business.
Yeah, and like you mentioned earlier, you know, you're going to start some things and you're going to fail. So what would you tell someone who's started a few things, failed a few times, and is now feeling discouraged of, you know what, I'm just going to go back, look for a job, you know, do all the traditional stuff that's what we've been told to do?
I think I would say it's okay. It's okay to
Just talk to the mic.
Okay, I think I would say it's okay if you start and maybe something is not working. You can just use that as a learning experience. Don't lose hope. Continue doing what you do best. That's what I always insist, because it's not easy. Startups are not easy, and I think that's why even you'll be starting your business and the banks are not ready to give you those capitals and all that. So it's not easy. Just you should be very much open-minded and learn from all that. Just get up and continue. Don't go back to those jobs that will just end up being an 8 to 5 routine, which you don't have that passion. Definitely will not have a very positive output in whatever company that you'll do. So just continue doing it. It's not easy. I know I've been there. It's not easy, but just wake up and continue doing it.
All right, I'm going to take final comments on this discussion, seeing as you're all here to encourage other people watching to sort of follow in your footsteps. What would you say to the people watching at home?
What I would say to my young fellas,
Your fellow youngins.
fellow youngins, is that don't be discouraged. I would like to tell you that in Kenya right now it's hard to get a job.
VARJ